Lord's 48th annual Passover.
Sunday, April 9th at sundown.
$100 per person or $100 per family. Dragon Community Center, Co-op City, the Boogie Down Bronx, New York.
177 Jars of Loot, Bronx, New York. 10475.
$100 per person or per family. Send your funds in today, no excuses.
Down from $150 thanks to Commander GEN.YAHANNA. He pay your way, pay for somebody else's. Send in your funds today, no excuses.
We are the I.S.U.P.K. coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander GEN.YAHANNA, here to teach you the truth according to the Bible, that you blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics are the true Jews according to the Bible, and that the only ones that God care about and the goddamn white man is the devil.
That's right.
Give me Matthew 5:17. One way that we up there serving under all these curses and up there in dire straits is because we stopped doing what God said. We stopped doing as Christ instructs us to do. We don't follow the law as God and Christ tells us to. A father gives you a set of rules and regulations to keep you out of harm, hurt, or danger. And that's what these laws, statutes, and commandments are. Read Matthew 5:17. And in Matthew 5:17, Christ is telling you this. Read.
Matthew 5 verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Stop. Christ saying out of his own mouth, think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. Christ didn't come to destroy the law or the doing of the law. Or the doing of the law. Christ came to fulfill the law, statute, commandments that's in the Bible from Exodus to Deuteronomy. He's telling you this right now, that he came not to destroy but fulfill. So Christ is telling you to do them according to the Bible. And he said, don't even get in your mind. That's what he means by think not. Don't even get in your mind that he came to destroy it. Read. Read it again, sir.
Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets.
He said, think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophet. Don't even get this in your mind that he come to destroy the law in the Bible. Or the prophets, who God already had to send you the law, statute, and commandments. To send you the law, statute, and commandments for us to do. Read.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
He's telling you right now, these rules and regulations in the Bible, that he did not come to destroy, but to fulfill. And when Christ come back, they are going to be fulfilled. And you still got to do the law according to the Bible. There's a dietary law. There's a law how you treat each other. There's a law how you treat these other nations. And there's a reason for that. Because God and Christ want to keep you from harm, hurt, or danger. So, verse 18.
For verily I say unto you, shall heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle, in no wise shall pass from the law.
Christ saying this, for verily I say, not one jot or one tittle shall heaven and earth pass, that not one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, which means you have to still these laws, that earth and heaven will pass away before the laws of the Bible will. So Christ is saying verily, meaning surely, that you have to do these laws, statutes, commandments. That's the reason why there's a dietary law, because he's trying to keep you from getting sick. You out there eating shrimp, caviar, all these things in the sea, according to the dietary law that don't have fins and scale. You out there thinking you popping a juicy shrimp in your mouth, but you really popping a sea roach in your mouth. That's what shrimp are, sea roaches. Would you pick up a roach off your floor and eat it? So you shouldn't be up there eating shrimp, crab, one of our favorite delicacies. Every time we have a cookout or a roast at our house or in your backyard, what you got? You got crab, you got shrimp, and you got pork.
It's so heavy what the brother is saying too. And who said that the law is done away with? Your black preacher. Christ said out of his own mouth, do not think that I come to destroy the law. I come to fulfill. Meaning what? To all these laws be fulfilled, be done. These laws are done. The scripture says, beware of wolves in sheep clothing. Them preachers and pastors that tells you that the law is done away with, them and those wolves that the scriptures are saying, man. You stay away from them, man. You listen to Christ. Christ said he will not go away until all the laws are fulfilled. These laws in this Bible will be fulfilled when Christ returns. Keep on, brother.
So why on that? Read 18. Read 18.
For verily I say unto you, shall heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle, shall not no wise pass from the law.
So Christ telling you, don't even get in your mind, for surely this shall happen, that heaven and earth will pass away before his laws will. So Christ is telling you to do these laws in the Bible so you can keep safe from his judgment, from God's judgment, from all hurt, harm, and danger. But because we ain't doing that, look at the condition that we in. Some of you walking into Lexington Market right now just to pick up a shrimp platter. Some of you walking in there, get ready to pick up a piece of pork and pop it in your mouth, think it's the greatest thing in the world. But it's a dietary law to tell you, no, it is not. You're making yourself sick with that. Why you think the water in the harbor looking like it is right now? Because you're taking all the things that God have in the water to filter the water. That's why it is not crystal clear. When you go overseas to the Caribbean and whatnot, the water over there, you can see right through it. You can see to the bottom of the floor. But can you see in the harbor? You can't even see past your hand if you stick your hand in the water. Because all the things that God said that you shouldn't eat, you already done took out to sea and eaten as a delicacy. The white man done told you, who is the goddamn devil, that you can eat this and it's a delicacy. Why do you think you're getting sick off it? Why do you think when you're allergic to certain things in the sea that you eat? Because God said it's a dietary law and that you should not eat it. Read.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
It says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments. No commandment in the Bible is the least commandment. We have to do all the laws in the Bible. You walking around here on the Sabbath thinking that everything is okay. That's a law that we have to keep the Sabbath holy. Some of you get ready to go out to the club tonight and go to strip clubs. Who is teaching you right now that you shouldn't be doing things, that you shouldn't be profaning the Sabbath by going to strip clubs, the strip joints down on Baltimore Street, or you walking and trying to find yourself a woman right now? What you should be doing is teaching your people according to the Bible, just like the I.S.U.P.K is doing out here right now. We out here for your benefit and for ours also, to lift up our people according to that sign right there. Those of Negro, Indian, Hispanic descent, those who Christ came for. That's why Christ is telling you right now that you shouldn't be up there breaking none of these laws in the Bible. Read.
And shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
And it said, and shall teach men so, shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. So if you got somebody out here teaching you that you don't have to do the law, statute, commandments, just like these preachers and these pork chop eating pastors in the churches telling you don't have to do the law, Christ said they're going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. Because they teaching you that you can do Valentine's Day, that you can sit up there and sing gospel songs, that the pastor and the preacher can tell you anything and you'll follow it. Matter of fact, let's get this about gospel songs. Go to Amos 5:21. God ain't telling you to be up here listening to these gospel songs because underhandedly they wicked. They giving you false hope. The Bible gonna tell you what you should do when you hear these gospel songs. Because I'm gonna tell you, it's garbage to God's ears. These gospel music out here is garbage to God's ears, and it's a scripture to prove that and tell that to you. Because these pastors ain't doing nothing for you. They raking in the money from your pockets and putting it in theirs. They teaching you how good a wife they got, how many cars they got, and you up there looking like a fool, going home broken, empty, and some of y'all children even go hungry because they dipping into your pockets. God only commands you to pay 10%, ma'asra, according to the Bible, that you should be given in tithes. Ask yourself this next time you go to church. If you want to go up to that house of ill repute, English 5, I think it's 5. When you go to the church, the house of ill repute, that God's saying these pastors and preachers ain't doing nothing but for themselves. They're not teaching you how to respect and love your brother. They're not teaching you to worship God and Christ the right way. We up there walking around here like everything is okay. You are a constant slave right now. Why is a man telling you to get up 5 o'clock in the morning when you know you gotta be to work at 8? Why is a man telling you you gotta work a couple of extra hours just to make your ends meet? But we're gonna get this on gospel songs, cause they ain't nothing but making you soft and feminine, making you to a faggot, and yes I did say faggot, and it's making you disobey God. Read.
Amos 5:21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
God say, I hate and I despise your feast days. These feast days that you're doing, like Thanksgiving, like Valentine's Day, all these feast days and holidays, wicked holidays at that you're doing. God say he hate and despise them. Read.
I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
They say, I will not smell in your solemn assembly. When you gathering together to cook a meal on Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, any other wicked ass holiday out there. God saying that he hated and he despised the smell. It's garbage and it's puke in his stomach. Read.
So ye offer me blood offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them.
He said, though you offer me burnt offerings and meat offerings, I will not accept them. So you cooking for that day and it's not God's high holy day? He said he hate them and despise them and they smell like garbage to him. Read on.
Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
So God said he hates your peace offerings of your fat beasts. So you up there cooking up a turkey ain't gonna do a bit of difference. You up there cooking up that goose that you up there want for Christmas ain't gonna make a bit of difference. Read. When have your preacher or your pastor tell you to do a high holy day of God? Who out here know what Purim is? Who out here know what Passover is? But your pastor up there in the church is telling you can celebrate anything that you want, which is against God's commandments. He telling you that you can eat anything you want, which is against God's commandments. He telling you you can treat your pastor up there telling you, because he tried to be an example, that he can treat anybody the way that he wants to. God tells you, no, you cannot. 1 John 2 and 3.
1 John 2 and 3. And hereby we do know that we know him.
It says, and hereby we do that we know him. We do the commandments. That's how you know God. Just like you know how your father will act if you break his rules. Us that's doing the law, statute, commandments. Those 12 tribes right there, you black man, Native American man, and Indian and Hispanic, we know God because we know the Bible. We study to show ourselves approved. That's how we know these laws, statute, commandments, and that's how we know what God can do if we break his laws, statute, and commandments. He punishes us when we break them. That's why we looking like we looking now. Why wouldn't you do what your father say if you know in the fear that he's going to punish you, that he's going to strip you of everything that you got? If you know that, why would you do wickedness anyway? Read.
And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments.
That we do what?
If we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments. Christ said in Matthew 5 and 17 that he came not to destroy, but to fulfill, and that earth and heaven will pass away before the law will, the law of God. So why ain't you going to do the law, statute, commandments? That's why we here right now looking 10 cars stupid while the white man, is so-called white man over us, is looking down on us in disgust. He got everything because we didn't do the law, statute, commandments. The earth was given to him because we didn't do the law, statute, commandments. Read.
He that saith, I know him and not keep the commandments is a liar.
What gonna happen if what happened to him if we did not keep the commandments?
He is a liar.
So God telling you, your pastor and preachers in these churches who ain't teaching you to do the commandments, who ain't teaching you to keep these high holy days, who ain't teaching you how to treat your brother, who up there telling you that God is love, is what?
A liar.
That's right. So God is telling you to your face, black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man, that if you don't keep these laws, statutes, commandments in the Bible, and you're doing as these pork chop pastors and preachers who profaning God's law, that you are a liar.
No, I don't.
Name the last time that a church song told you to do God's law, statute, and commandments. Look at these gospel artists around here now. What happened to them? Taking them out. God is taking them out like he should be taking them out because they ain't teaching you nothing. They get on there, give you a show, and what happened? You empty afterwards. That's why you go looking for another song or go to a church looking for another pastor because you ain't doing the right thing in the first place. Give me 1 John 5 and 3. Because if you ain't doing what God say, what gonna happen? You gonna get punished. We are God's children. Those children right there that's listed on those signs of Negro, Indian, Hispanic descent, the 12 tribes of Israel, we are his children. That's why he set rules and regulations for us, which is his law, statute, commandments. Read 1 John 5 and 3, please.
1 John 5 and 3. For this is love of God.
So the Bible's saying, for this is the love of God. If you think that you know the love of God and you ain't doing his law, statute, commandments, that's telling you that you don't love God. But God gonna tell you what is the love of him. Read.
That we keep his commandments.
That we do what?
That we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments. Not do away with him, not do what you want, that we keep his commandments. That's why you suffer in hell right now. That's why we suffering. We suffering as a nation in the white man's hell because we wouldn't do as God says, as God commands. That's what a commandment is. A commandment is a stern order. So God is ordering you to keep what he set up, which is these laws, statutes, commandments of the Bible.
Up here where I'm at.
Love according to the Bible is not commotion, is not an emotion. It's not a feeling like you in love. It's not a feeling like we soulmates or that we into one another so deep or we intimate. That's not love is according to the Bible. What is love again?
That we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments. Pure, straight, and simple order from God himself.
And his commandments are not grievous.
And his commandments are not grievous. Grievous mean hard. His commandments ain't hard to do. It's that most of us around here don't want to do them because we listen to a man who can send you to hell faster than a racehorse. Now, give me Romans 6 and 1, please. Your pastors and your preachers ain't nothing around here but garbage. Straight garbage. They ain't teaching you nothing. You walking in empty and you leaving empty. When you don't have something inside you, what that's telling you? That you're dead. You're walking around here like a zombie. You see them zombies crawling on the ground, do they have a soul? No, they don't. The reason why we walking around here like zombies, because we don't have what God put in us, which is these laws, statutes, commandments. Look at us right now. This is deplorable. This is very unpriestly and unprincely of us walking around here when we should be ruling the whole planet. We should be ruling this planet. But what's happening now? Because we didn't do and go into the Bible as God said, we walking around here like we the bottom of the barrel.
And so heavy the brother said that. And we can understand why brothers are drinking and why brothers are on drugs. Because we in pain. We in pain in America, man. We've been in captivity for 400 years. A brother needs a drink. Thinking of committing suicide. We in America being enslaved under an oppressive white man, under an oppressive nation, all we can do is get a drink. Sometimes we think all we can do is smoke weed to get that pain, to get away from that pain, to get away from that suffering. But that's not the way to get out of this captivity. The only way to get out of that captivity is to come to I.S.U.P.K, and we'll show you how to fight those afflictions, man. We have the afflictions just like you do. And the generals always say, the truth is like medicine. It might not taste good, but it gets you better. And all it is just a process. It just takes time. And that's all we need. That's all the Lord required of us. Just take time to do what's right, to get yourself better. And then you can wake up other brothers and sisters and get them better. That's it. Go ahead, bro.
That was heavy. That was heavy on Romans 6:1. So we up here walking around like we did. We drinking too much. We up there doing drugs. We up there not following God's law, statutes, and commandments. That's why we look like we don't belong to nobody. That's why we look like we walking around here like homeless children, because we will not come back to God, to his law, statutes, and commandments. We walking around here like nobody wants us and nobody loves us. And like the Bible tell you, the love of God is to keep his commandments, straight and simple. Read Romans 6:1, please.
Romans 6:1. What shall we say then?
Read.
What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin?
It says, what shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin? The pastors and preachers in the churches tell you got grace, that you can do what you want. But the Bible is telling you, what shall we say then? That we shall sin? Read.
That grace may abound.
That grace may abound, meaning you thinking you got grace. God can already tell you something that you don't know. Read.
God forbid. How shall we that are dead in sin to sin live longer therein?
Grace is to be, the word grace is to be saved from all hurt, harm, or danger. Your brother walk.
Right? Grace is just, think about this, right? If you got a bill to pay, but you don't have it on the date due, and you call them up, and you say, hey, I know my bill is due on the 10th, but I don't have the money just yet. Can I pay you on the 15th? The company will be like, okay, no problem. I'm going to give you that extra time. Well, the grace period that the Lord gave us was a time to start learning these laws, statutes, and commandments. Start doing them. Start living them. That's a grace, what he's talking about. It ain't talking about what the Christian church pushes, that it's a gift from God, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. No, grace is just a time period to get the rules and regulations done right. And after that, if we don't do them, when Christ comes back, we're going to get put to death. In those days, when Christ comes back, if you were flaming homosexual and didn't heed to the warning, you will be put to death. If you an adulteress, slept around with 20 different dudes and your husband, you getting put to death. If you a pimp preacher on the pulpit, taking advantage of blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians, you will be put to death. You understand? If you want to hug up and love the white man and call him your friend, you will be put to death. If you want to marry the white man or an African or a Chinese or a Japanese, you will be put to death. You understand? God don't play. Y'all better recognize God flooded the earth. That was a powerful move. That was gangster. God showed us he really hates homosexuals. He bombed the heck out of Sodom and Gomorrah. You understand? He hated it. And for too long, because of the Christian church, we don't know what God is about. We at the I.S.U.P.K, we're going to lay it to you right. We're going to lay it to you wrong. God loves his people, but don't mess with him.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, sold packs, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain, something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword with